Hi, also, I want to introduce you today and talk about this really clean, good looking Range Rover Evoque we've now got in stock. Um, dare I say it, I'm actually a really big fan of the newer style Evoques. The first reason I alluded to on the previous video for our other Evoque was they don't seem like the runt of the litter anymore. They almost feel like they are worthy of a Range Rover badge because they just look so premium. I mean, if you park this next to a Velar, the only difference you'd notice just at a quick glance would be the size. So really what it comes down to is I think these Evoques now offer something I never thought I'd say about a Range Rover, and that's value for money. So really nice colour contrast in this vehicle. Again, I love these rose gold accents you get all around the vehicle. I think the colour contrast with the black, and you've got the dual split leather that we'll touch on when we jump inside for a good test drive as well. Again, giving this car a really nice colour combination throughout. This is the R Dynamic version, so you get these nice, really aggressive looking upgraded 20-inch alloy wheels. Some other features that we'll touch on as well. This is the D240 version, so it's about 240 brake, diesel, really good MPG, but at the same time, ultra low emission zone, clean air zone, don't worry about it, this vehicle's got you covered. It is a 2020 registered car, but the average, so the overall condition for this vehicle is absolutely spot on, a really good looking car. And it's got 4 Pirelli tyres all the way around to sat on some really nice tread. Good looking car this. We'll jump inside now, give it a spin. I want to show you that colour combination and all the spec this car has to offer. Right, so you join me now as I cut a vehicle off because I'm following Craig to the bike shop and I don't know which way I'm going, so this really is going to be a bit of a raw, unedited version of a good test drive video. So, I mean, the first thing I want to bring to your attention, I guess we probably don't even have to do that because it's quite clear and evident of what I'm going to say, and it's how open and aired the cabin space feels. And I guess there's a large thanks to this really beautiful fixed panoramic roof that just opens the whole of the cabin up. For a small SUV in brackets, it feels very open and very welcoming. It's very aired inside. It's a very nice place to be. Again, another, I guess, second fiddle to that string really is this stunning split or dual tone leather we've got in this car. This sort of subtle off grey with the black just gives it a really impressive place to be, and again it feels very bright, but at the same time that gloss black just sets all of the sharp edges in really nicely. It's a very beautiful place to be, and for me that's a big thing for these Range Rovers because yes, they look beautiful on the outside, there's undeniable that what they've managed to do with the new styling, but when I drive to work, I drive from Bristol to Swindon, I'm not staring at myself from another car. I'm just, all I can see is what I can see inside, and if the inside of a car is beautifully well presented, everything feels good and well made and is comfortable and just has really good design features and quality of life features, that's a real big plus point for me. On that note, I mentioned it is the aerodynamic version, so one of the simplest and ingenious, it almost feels like when the Americans went to space, they spent millions of pounds on creating a pen that could write upside down in space with no gravity. What did the Russians use? A pencil. It's that simple. Why complicate it? What they've managed to do here is the simplest thing I've ever seen, and I can't think another manufacturer's done it to date, is the 10-inch screen here is adjustable. That's it. So if you get lens glare or solar glare off the sun, which quite often happens and it's struggle to see a screen, what you've got to do is just give it a little nudge and it's that straightforward. How simple is that? Why is that only being thought of now? It's one of the simplest things I've ever, when you think about it, it's almost one of those why didn't I think of it moments. But for that reason, again, it's just a little quality of life feature that makes this vehicle brilliant. Now, thankfully, it has got the stunning 2 screens here, but there are some buttons. I'm a big advocate. We need buttons. Bring buttons back. I'm going to start a campaign. Please join me, because one single tablet doesn't work. You still need something that you can fiddle with without diverting too much of your attention off the road, and that is buttons. Wow, really nice 7 Series there, an old one. 750i as well. Hopefully you got a glimpse of that. yeah, never stop being a car nut. I do apologise. So yeah, I've got buttons here to twist and pull and do whatever I want to do to them, but ultimately they work well. They don't take my eyes off the road, which quite often can be a big annoying feature when you just want to turn your aircon down and it takes you 20 minutes of staring at a screen. Don't worry about that, this car's got you covered. In terms of the features itself, I'm just going to speed these up a bit because I've been waffling. I do apologise. Driver assist and aid, this car's got plenty of. You've got parking assist. Whether it works or not, I don't know. We'll have to give it a try, but a good fun feature to show your mates anyway. Anyway, you've got 360 camera, reverse camera, front and rear sensors as well. You've got cruise control and lane assist, so driving on the motorway, sort of well taken care for there. Driving at night, you've got the really good premium LED lights on this Evoque. You've also got high beam assistance as well, so you haven't got to fill around with jumping the lights on and off, etc. Comfort, seats are brilliantly comfortable, but they're also 16-way adjustable. They're heated. I've got mine on full. There's also driver and passenger memory. You've got 3 memory slots available for the seats. Keyless entry and start, as you'd expect. We've mentioned the really beautiful fixed panoramic roof, if I can get my words out. Toys for the vehicle, plenty of, as you'd expect. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which I'm a big fan for because they'll always seem modern. So if you have this car in 5-10 years, I mean, unless they start planting chips in that brain, which is another conversation point, I guess, but it will still feel familiar because we're still going to be glued to our phones, aren't we? We're going to be using our phones all the time. So there is that. I've lost Craig, so this could be interesting. Yeah, so where was it? Apple CarPlay, etc. There's Pro navigation on this vehicle, so that's a big feature to have. And you've got Bluetooth, DAB, navigation, as I mentioned, dual zone climate control, power folding mirrors, etc. This car's got loads of features standard. Blind spot monitoring assist, didn't even mention. That's it for a good test drive. I hope that covered some of my thoughts and features for the vehicle. We're going to jump onto some of the other features of the video now. So we're now on to the infamous boot test for the Evoque. For a small SUV, quite a surprising boot. I don't think I'm going to struggle in truth, so I'm just going to, I guess, mosey my way on in really. So not very dramatic this, unfortunately, Craig. My apologies, mate, but if I've had one too many, this wouldn't be too bad of a place, you know. So we're now on to the infamous sound test for this car. Now, we've already done an Evoque, actually, thinking about it, so...
Yeah, the grey one.
I need to find out what my score was.
Just pretend like you didn't.
I need to know, otherwise the continuity...
Treat it for what it is.
I can't do that.
Just go for it.
They'll think I'm a fraud. Indicator stalk. Good noise. I'm a big fan of the indicator stalk. Again, as I mentioned, it's just a bit... They've almost like to try and fake it like it's titanium. It isn't. It's cheap plastic. However, the stalk's got a really good noise to it. The stalk, I'm going to go 7.8. The actual indicator tick itself, it's a really good indicator tick, that. Good high and low, nice and clean, sounds premium. Even the indicator flashing in front of me looks really nice. I think I might go with an 8.2 on the indicator tick, Craig.
Yeah, I think 8 all round.
Okay, I'm really going to be concerned to see how that compares to the other Evoque we did. Horn. There's a car coming, but it is what it is. Good. Oh, that
the echo.
That had so much. Oh, they've stopped.
The horses have
My
scattered.
apologies. We're going to have to just... They've literally stopped. Oh, no. Horn's brilliant. I mean...
Well, it worked there, didn't it?
I mean, it did what it needs to do, and that's alert everyone within 2.5 miles of that echo. On that note, that has to be a 9.
It's got to be a 9.
It has to be, doesn't it?
That's a 9.
Well, there we go. That's very controversial. I don't know what the last one was, but there we go.
That's a traffic stopper.
It's an everything stopper.